live, 7:06 on this Tuesday morning. 36 degrees outside on this Valentine's Day Tuesday. And that's right, the great one, Mark Levin, now live 6 to 9 each evening, just as we are live 6 to 9 a.m. The great one now, right here on News Talk 105.9 WVGA, delivering to you, without a doubt, and unquestionably, the best lineup of News Talk anywhere in America. Glenn Beck, 9 to noon. Rush Limbaugh, 12 to 3. The great Sean Hannity from 3 to 6. And now, Mark Levin, live 6 to 9. For 15 consecutive live hours a day, you're going to hear the best in News Talk Radio. Right here on News Talk 105.9. That's it. That's the package. And also Neil Bortz later on as well. Bortz is rebroadcast, but if I was listening to Bortz last night, fascinating stuff. Bortz is crazy. If you've not heard the great Neil Bortz, you can tune into him as well. He's fascinating. But 15 straight hours, and that's all the heavy hitters. That's Murderers Row. That's the 36 Yankees right there. Or was it the 27 Yankees? I can't remember. Ruth and Gehrig and all those guys. You know who I'm talking about. That's the heavy hitters. I'm trying to compare it to a recent modern-day lineup, but players change teams so much I can't think of any. This is the Red Sox with Manny and Ortiz, or whatever. The Yankees with Giambi and whatever. I'm A-Rod and all those guys. I don't know who's retired. I don't know who's coming back. I know the Braves are going to be coming back here very soon. They're going to be pitchers and catchers reporting and spring training, and it's going to be beautiful, and baseball will be back. And that's a good thing. And basketball is going to be back starting tonight. The Region 1 6A tournament will begin tonight. Luckily, Lions of Valdosta not playing. What do you mean, Chris? How is it lucky? We're not playing in the region tournament. Well, tonight's the play-in round. And all four of our local teams at Lions of Valdosta are already in the state tournament. And they'll start theirs on Thursday. We have two playing games tonight. All of the region tournament action happening in Tifton this week. Tonight's girls game, which I believe will begin at 6 p.m., will be the Tift County Lady Blue Devils taking on the Coffee High Lady Trojans. The winner of that game will play Lowndes 7 o'clock Thursday night. The Vikets, Shan Garner, coach extraordinaire. The Wizard of what road is Lowndes on? I was going to call him the Wizard of Westwood, like John Wooden, but I guess the Saint of St. Augustine. That's as close as I can get on short notice. And then also the boys playing game tonight, 7:30. We'll pit the Colquitt County boys versus the Coffee High boys. The winner of that game will take on the number 1 seed Tift County Blue Devils, 8:30 on Thursday. We have the 4th edition. There are not many years where the Valdosta and Lowndes boys have played 4 times in a season, but the 4th edition of that rivalry will take place Thursday at 5:30 in the first full round of the region tournament. And then the winner of that game will go on to play in the region championship. So we'll have a Wintersville team in the region championship come Friday night. And then the Valdosta girls will play, who's left? They'll play the Colquitt girls on Thursday at 4 o'clock. So that's your region schedule. We'll talk a little sports coming up later on. 241-1059. Stacy Bush will also be here during the 8 o'clock hour to tell you what you do with your money on Valentine's Day, and that's a good thing. As well as mentioning earlier, ValdostaToday.com, your home for all news going on locally. And, of course, our good friend Chad Whittle and his updates, you can find them there as well. Last night, by the way, Lowndes County Board of Education meeting, one of the students got up and talked about the second chance that he received after the death of his mother. You can imagine the effect that would have on a student. He did not do well in this course. He was allowed to take that over again, and because of that, he will graduate coming up later on this year. Kind of going back to the whole grading policy fiasco, which never should have been in the first place, had people just asked some questions, but it all got blown out of proportion. Dr. Steve Smith, Dr. Troy Davis, board member Fred Wetherington all came on our show last week to answer all the questions about this grading policy, and I think that's now been put to bed, and it was really a molehill turned into a mountain, which never should have been, in my eyes anyway. However, there's a story in today's Valdosta Daily Times where Troy Davis, who was one of our guests last week, and said, he feels like he was misrepresented in his quotes to the newspaper. Earlier, some teachers had a problem when he said that, if we give a kid a 0, we have failed that kid. And a lot of teachers thought, what do you mean we're failing kids? He didn't mean the teachers. He meant we, as in the community. Remember, it takes a village to raise a child, or whatever that was Hillary Clinton said years ago. That's what he was talking about, and he wanted that corrected, and they have done so this morning. To be quite honest with you, we'll talk about it if it's on your mind, 241-1059. We have open phone lines. We don't screen calls. We throw no one out. If you got something on your mind, rock and roll. Let's go. Give us a call. But I think far too much was made of that. And to those who have championed in the past how, we need to be looked on favorably by outside interest, and then go on national media and bash their very own town, to me is hypocritical and makes no sense. But that's just me. Also, I do want to bring up this issue of this video. Now, some of you have seen this video, and I've been talking about it with people for the last few days. There's a video online, and you can find it literally anywhere. It has about 2 million views or 20 million views, whatever it is, of this father. I think he's in North Carolina. Here's the story if you're not familiar with it. He is the father of a 15-year-old daughter. Okay, his daughter went on Facebook and wrote a message on her Facebook page about how the shabby treatment she believes she receives at home, and that they work her like a slave, and she's not, gets no pay for her work, and her parents are unfair, and she's just tired of it, and she uses foul language. And apparently this is not the first time she's done this. She was put on restriction or whatever the first time it happened, and then her father, who is an IT expert, saw this. It was not a video; it was just a written message on her Facebook page, and it infuriated him. So he responded by making a Facebook video, or making a video of his response. It was about, 8-9 minutes long, something like that. And then he put it on her Facebook page. And I'm not going to play it for you because parts of it contains language which you shouldn't hear on the radio. But basically he said, I told you about this once. You disobeyed me again. So now this is going on your Facebook page for all your friends to see. You don't work too hard. Here's the jobs that you have. You don't do them. You're lazy. You haven't get out and look for a job. And here's your laptop computer. And he pulls out his 45 and videos himself putting about 9 rounds into a laptop of hers, and says he's never going to get another one until she can pay for it. And he puts that on her Facebook page and says, how do you like that? And this guy is kind of a cult hero now. A lot of people are looking at this video and saying, now, that's fighting fire with fire. She deserved that. Way to go. That's good, strong parenting. If you've seen the video, I want to hear from you this morning. 241-1059 is our number. Hello, caller. How are you?
Had to be taken out behind the woodshed and whooped. That is a sorry daddy.
Tell me why that is.
Talk to your youngins that way, and you don't do it publicly. If you need to chastise them, do it privately. Your chastisement or praise is magnified and multiplied the more people hear it. If you're giving her a compliment, go ahead and give it to her in public. If you think she did something good and so forth, go ahead and give it. But to dress her down in public, shame on him. That is something he should have done in private. He ought to have his Facebook thing and cussing at his kid. No wonder she uses foul language. Guess where she gets it from?
Now let me ask you. Do you feel like you're the minority? Do you think most people will see this guy as a hero, or more people feel like you feel?
I think probably more people feel like I feel.
Okay, fair enough.
If your kid's a brat, look how you are.
Yeah. All right, I want to get a lot. I want to get
home. That's where I believe. That's what I believe. I believe that if your kid's a brat, it's because you made him a brat.
I want to get a good sampling so we can figure out what the public feeling on this is. So, hey, I appreciate we got one vote. It was a terrible idea. All right.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks a lot. All right, let's go to line 2. 241-1059 is our number. Hey, caller, how are you?
What's going on, Chris Beckham?
Not much, man. How about you?
Same old. I think the lady that called before me was mistaken. I think with the exception of the language that the father used in the video, I think it was a good idea. He exactly reflects what I would do if my daughter did something like that. My hardest decision would be picking which gun out of the gun safe I was going to use to shoot the laptop with.
So you feel like he was justified in his response?
I do too. And her remark about the old saying, praise in public and punish in private. Well, she kind of put herself out there when she posted that about her parents on her Facebook page. So, I mean, you know, turnabout's kind of fair play in that situation.
Okay.
She didn't want it to be a public issue. She shouldn't have put it out there like that. So.
Gotcha. All right. Fair enough. So he did the right thing.
I think he did.
All right. Good deal, man. Hey, I appreciate it. Thanks for the call.
Yeah, man. Have a good one.
See you, bud. 241-1059. Now, this kind of conversation fascinates me, so I want to get as many voices and views as I can this morning. Hello, caller. Good morning.
Chris, what's happening?
Not much, man.
Listen, he's a hero for sure.
Okay.
And the next thing is, if we'll do a little search on this, we'll find out that an ATF agent knocked on his door to find out if his gun was registered. Welcome to America, man. Take it easy.
All right, see ya. I don't know that to be true, but hello, caller. Go ahead.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, I think he did the right thing. It's his child. Let him do it. The problem we got in America now, we got so many daggum busybodies wanting to tell you what you can eat, what you can wear, how to raise your kids. Maybe if we left parents alone to raise their kids, we'd have a little better society. I don't care whether you're liberal or conservative. If you're a busybody, you need to mind your own business and stick your nose back in your business.
Well, but wait a minute. He put it out there for the world to see. He's putting it in our face. We're not in his business. He advertises his business.
Hey, he put it out there. That's true. But we got that first caller you called in there. He's a sorry daddy. Well, ma'am, if he is, he is. That's his child. Until you decide you want to pay for it or pay for that kid, leave the man alone to do what he wants. I don't care. I saw it online, and you know what? I haven't gone back to look at it.
Okay.
We create this whole thing, but we want to see more of it. We want some more drama. My God, we're becoming the people on Jerry Springer.
All right. All right, fair enough. I think we get your. You think it was a good idea. You think he did the right thing.
Well, you know, for him, I mean, me, I don't have kids, and that's the very reason. Yeah,
all right.
You bring them into the world, buddy. You're stuck with them for at least 18 years.
That's right. All right. Hey, I appreciate your view, man. Thanks a lot. See you. Have a good day. 241-1059. Facebook Daddy from North Carolina. Good, bad decision. Hey, caller. How are you?
Hey, how you doing, Chris?
Good.
I think he's a hero. I mean, I realize maybe that, him and his wife made the girl what she is.
Mm-hmm.
But once you reach that stage, the only way you're going to change behavior is what they call a major life-changing event.
Uh-huh.
And I would say that qualifies.
Okay. So he did the right thing, fighting fire with fire.
I think so, yes.
All right, man. I appreciate it. Thanks for participating.
Thanks, Chris.
This is, let me tell you something. You see Gallup and Rasmussen and all these polls, not nearly as scientific as the Morning Drive poll. We don't filter. We don't answer the question. We just tell you the facts and hear your comments. That's what we're doing this morning. Hey, caller, let me hear. What you got?
Yes, I watched the video, and I actually pulled my two kids and their two friends into my office to watch it. The language that was used was brought forth by the child first. The father had to respond in kind.
Mm-hmm.
If I was him, I would have done the exact same thing. I showed it to my kids to show them, you know, I've had problems with them with the laptops and the iPods and the iPhones. Yours could be next. But she is the one that put it out there for the public, and she deserves in kind what she put out there.
Fair enough. Fight fire with fire.
And if I was him, I wouldn't have stopped with that. She would have got a belt to her butt.
All right.
It didn't hurt me when I was growing up. It darn sure won't hurt these kids nowadays.
All right, I'll do it. Thanks a lot.
Right.
See you now. 241-1059 is our number. Hey, caller, good morning.
I'll tell you how I would have handled it. I'd have taken away her Facebook page for starters.
Mm-hmm.
She'd be grounded right now for another thing.
Mm-hmm.
I'd cut her off from all her friends. The only thing she'd have left is me. I'd be pulling that child closer and closer with every weapon in my arsenal. I wouldn't be pushing her away with a response in kind. If there's a problem with that relationship right now, and I hate to say it, but I predict that when she's grown and he's old, she will not be visiting him anywhere.
Okay, fair enough. Now you started
and
this conversation.
He'll be a lonely old man.
Okay, Now let me. No, you
and
call.
the parent is the initiator, just like the husband is the initiator in the marriage, and the wife is the responder. The parent is the initiator and should be the initiator, and the child is the responder.
Gotcha. Very
now,
good.
whatever, we don't know what's going on at home, but she's responding to something. She responded to something.
Okay.
Now, what he needs to do is look at what's going on at home, and instead of pushing her away with that response in kind, he should be pulling her to him. He has lost that child's heart, and he needs to win it back.
Very good. Now I'm trying to get a sampling now, so I appreciate your call. We're gonna go to another phone line because I think you were the one who called earlier, and so I want to. You can't vote twice. It's not Chicago, so I want to make sure we have a correct tally as we hear from everybody. Hey, caller. Good morning.
Hey, good morning, Chris. Kind of in response, I guess your first caller's taking a beating now.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of in the response to that first caller, I've seen too many times in my own family and other families also that, parents, you know, she said, well, they're the ones that raised her to be a brat now. They got to deal with her to be a brat.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen parents raise 3 or 4 different children the same way, and each one of them turn out differently.
Absolutely. I've seen this as well.
So, you know, you can't say a lot of times put it on the parents all the time. Now, I ain't going to say that let parents off the hook. I don't know totally what the case was before this happened and everything, but I just know that, you know, we can't just always say, well, it's the parents' fault. That child's a brat because of the parents. I have 2 kids, and I will tell you right now, if I had tried, I couldn't have had 2 opposite children. I mean, 2 more opposite children than what I have right now and everything. So, each child has to be handled a little bit differently, and you know, I'm never, I guess, for using kind of a violence, which you know, anytime you bring a weapon into it, that's kind of a violent thing, you know. So I'm never for that. I don't know if I would have took it. I definitely wasn't for the language, but I'm not sure if I would have took it that far as doing something like that. Maybe destroying the computer some other way, but take a gun out and shoot it. You know, that's a little bit much in my opinion, but that's just me. That's just my style, you know, and everything. So I would probably say I wasn't necessarily against doing something to get that child's attention, and definitely, like the caller say, you know, put a belt on some behinds and take certain things away from them, and everything. But I just don't know if I'd have went the gun route.
Gotcha. All right, fair enough.
All right, thanks.
See you, buddy.
Right,
I'm gonna take about 2 more calls. 241-1059 is our number. Hey, caller. Good morning.
Hey, unequivocally, I support the gentleman. I think Goldwater said it best in '64 when he said extremism in defense of liberty is no vice.
Wow.
Have a great day.
Heady stuff. Thanks, man. Extremism in the defense of liberty. I like. Okay. 241-1059 is our number. Caller. Good morning.
Good morning. I believe that if you raise all of your children the same way, you're making a major mistake because children are different, and so you do have to raise them differently. You do have to evaluate each one of your children because what's right for one will not be necessarily be right for another. So you may have 2 wonderful children and one, you know, you need that's not so wonderful. You need to evaluate what that particular child needs too, because fair is not always equal.
So do you think the gentleman was correct in his decision to do this, or a bad idea?
I think he was correct with that. I don't have a problem with what he chose to do.
Okay, fair enough. Hey, we appreciate you listening. Have a great day.
Thanks. Bye.
And happy Valentine's Day. All right, 241-1059 is our number. Interesting, and this is what I thought the response would be. And this has generally been the response that we've seen on Facebook and in other chat rooms as I've been kind of monitoring this. And I'm going to give you my thoughts when we come back from the news on this, but I want to get yours first to see kind of where the temperature of our audience was. Caller, good morning.
Yes, good morning. I've been listening to your show.
Thank you.
And I got to say that my opinion has always been that being a parent is the completely hardest job in the world.
Amen.
You take the CEO of any billion-dollar company, and when he makes a decision, his decision is followed or you're fired. You can't fire your kids.
Gotcha.
So it's hard for any one person to say what's right or wrong in a parent-child relationship.
That's right.
I agree with what he did. I'm sure the kid didn't pay for the computer. The kid didn't pay for the internet service. And the kid has to learn that, you know, with certain actions come certain consequences.
Gotcha. So the crime fit the punishment fit the crime.
Well, but for other people, in my opinion, for other people to say whether what that father did is right or wrong, nobody can say, because like a lot of people have said, they don't know the situation. But anybody that says that there's a problem with the father, I can't see that, because father's just doing what he thinks is right. And as long as you're trying, you're being a great parent.
Fair enough. Hey, I appreciate it, man. Have a good one.
All right.
See you now. 90% of our unscientific scientific poll says kudos to the father. When we come back, we got news coming up here at the bottom of the hour. I'll give you my take. And I disagree with all of you. And I'll tell you why when we come back. More right after this. It's the Morning Drive on this Valentine's Day, 241-1059. Back with more right after this on News Talk 1059. This is WVGA.